Okay, had a rough day. What time is it? 20 after 4. I was acquitted today. Just relaxing, a couple of beer, having a chat with somebody. Let's see how it goes. What's your name?
My name's Matthew Hayes.
And you are?
I'm a sociology professor at St. Thomas, and I'm running for mayor.
Running for mayor?
Yep.
Wow. We got to know more about you. So, you're born here? Or?
I was born in Dalhousie, up north. And,
Dalhousie? Pas français?
Oui, absolument.
Absolument.
Je suis allé à l'école en français.
Ah ouais?
Ouais.
Quand tu es chiette?
Chiac aussi, ouais.
Chiac?
Ouais, Chiac et tout.
Connais-tu Donald
Donald Arsenault, oui. On est allé à l'école ensemble. We went to school together.
Ah, vraiment?
Ouais.
Ah, c'en est un moyen, lui, là.
Pardon?
C'en est un moyen, lui, là.
Ouais.
I like Donald. He's all right. The house is going through a very, very, very hard time.
It sure is. It sure is. There's a lot of people, you know, like myself, who've left Dalhousie and have moved here or to Moncton or what have you.
So, okay. So, how did you end up here?
How did I end up here in Fredericton?
In Fredericton, yeah.
Well, I was studying and applying for jobs, and luckily enough, I got a term appointment here at UNB, and that ended, and then I got another one at St. Thomas. So I was lucky enough that they hired me into a full-time position, which is, you know, is really difficult now because there's fewer and fewer full-time jobs. So I was pretty happy actually you know, Fredericton. When I was growing up, both my parents are from here. And so
they're both from Fredericton?
Yeah, they're both from Fredericton. My grandparents lived here when I was growing up, so we came here.
So you got genes here?
Yeah, I've got genes here.
But you're not acting like a snob, so... you know.
Well, it's because I grew up in Dalhousie.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, you might lose about 100 pounds right now. That's all right. But anyway, so you grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up kind of... Well, I grew up in Dalhousie, obviously, but I grew up coming to
your parents
Fredericton.
grew up here. Sorry, it's my fault. It's my fault. Okay, it's all right.
You just started that beer, you know?
No. I had 2 before I met you. So your parents grew up here,
yeah.
And you grew up in Dalhousie.
In Dalhousie,
and you came here.
We came here quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was starting my studies, you know, I thought, oh, you know, it would be really nice to be able to get a job in Fredericton. So I was really thrilled actually when I got it.
How long have you been in the city?
I have been living here for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And we must admit that Fredericton's a beautiful city.
It is. It is.
No.
I really like it here. Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Great city. I like the green spaces. I like the trails. I like the neighborhoods. People are really, really friendly. You know, it's one of... I remember growing up, you know, people stop to let you pass across the street, whether it's a crosswalk or not. I realize, obviously, not everyone does that all the time, but most of the time, people are quite friendly. You know, like you, I drive a bike, and I find that people are really courteous to me most of the time.
You never met the cops yet?
I've been lucky enough not to do that.
You wear a helmet?
I do wear a helmet some of the time. I've also, you know, I used to not wear a helmet, but recently, last year I saw a guy actually get, you know, it was a driver who was not paying attention. And he was. I mean, he was doing what any good cyclist would do. He was going down the hill, and someone took a left turn, and he went basically right over the hood of that car.
Oh, yeah.
And that changed my mind pretty quickly.
I rode a 10-speed bike across Canada, and from Halifax to San Francisco about 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple of those too, while I was going to San Francisco. But anyway, my attitude is, in those days, we had no helmet, but we had no cell phone, we had no testing, we had no twinning or anything. And there was no distraction. The only distraction was a nice-looking woman on the side of the road, and then you got distracted. But that's all there was.
Yeah.
And now there's so many cyclists being killed on the highways.
Well, I mean, it's really unfortunate when it happens, although I'm not sure that I mean, in Fredericton, we've had one cyclist who was killed last year, and I think we had maybe 1 or 2 people that were hit last year, or at least reported. And then there was this guy who thankfully walked away from this, from being hit. But you know, despite this, I don't think that cycling is something that is dangerous. And I realize that a lot of people do feel that it's dangerous, but I think that the more people that are out there exercising, yeah, but also just kind of getting used to bicycling in traffic. It's intimidating at the start, but once you start doing it, it's actually not that intimidating at all. And it's just as safe as driving. I mean, one of the things that I find is a bit of a pain with the bike helmet is, you know, it's really this idea that, you know, something could happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, you could get hit by a car crossing the street, or
and a helmet won't save you.
Yeah, and head injuries actually are just as frequent in car accidents. So, you know, risk is out there.
Exactly.
You try to reduce it. And
but
in the case of cyclists, wearing a helmet, probably not a bad thing.
That's a provincial issue anyway. You're running for mayor, so you're not running for MLA. I apologize. We'll blame it on that again. It's all right. It's different. What do you think of the Park Patrol? You think we should have that?
The Park Patrol?
I call them the Rat Patrol. But,
the Rat Patrol.
The Park Patrol, they're make-believe policemen that goes on bicycle and the walking trails, and they...
Well, I think one of the things when you talk to people about the trails, since they've paved them, the cyclists are able to go quite a bit faster, and there's a bit of a problem there between the speed of people walking and the speed of people who are cycling. So it's probably a good idea to have some people out there just to remind cyclists that there's a 10-kilometer-an-hour speed limit. If they want to go faster, they should be on the road.
And it's a green city, it's a beautiful city, and you love it.
Yeah, I really do. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of potential in Fredericton. Fredericton's not a finished project. It's an ongoing project, and I think that there are certain things that we can be doing better, and I'd like to be part of that.
I'll get to that later. See you in part 1.